I remember there's this one time when I was in a campus. I used to have a bed sitter. Let me not even call it an apartment. That would be too much. It was a bed sitter somewhere on Gong Road because it was closer to my university along Gong Road, right there at Daystart. So the rent for this bed sitter was around, was it 10,000? It was 10,500. In fact, it was called Ngando Apartments, the cheapest I could find there. Now, right in that same period when I was in campus, I had an urge to get into a certain business. I wanted to start a full service advertising agency. That means we're doing billboard advertisements, we're going to do radio commercials, TV commercials, web design, graphic design, you name it. Even guerrilla marketing, we were charged to do anything and everything that any company would want us to do on their behalf. That is what I wanted to get into. But the entry was so expensive because at the time I didn't know much about business. I thought you have to start large in order to make the big bucks. Like I need a website, I need an office, I need this. It's all just a facade. You don't really need those things. But being 21, 22, I thought, that's something I definitely need. So I couldn't raise the money. How was I going to raise it? I decided, let me convince my mom. Let me move back home. And then the rent she's been giving me to pay so that I can be close to school, I can save that. And over time, I'll be able to start my business. So I did that. I saved up. On top of that, she borrowed some money from the chama, which she paid back over a period of time. And so using that money, I opened a website. The company was called Malmo and Bagbo Advertising Agency Limited. In fact, if you search Malmo and Bagbo, you'll probably find it on Instagram. It's a dead business, but it still exists nonetheless. So I got a website done. I bought furniture. I went and paid rent and deposit at Kimathi House, which is right along Kimathi Street, which is opposite Sarova Stanley Hotel. Now, the business was very tricky. It wasn't giving me much dividends, but this is how I survived without any cash flow. I had 2 desks. I advertised on OLX. It was called that at the time before it's transitioned to Gigi. Advertised, hey, there's office space. We are charging 13,000 to occupy just a desk. It was a nice office, and turns out people needed the space. There's a guy called Paul who picked one desk for 13,000. There was another lawyer who was called Huka Abudo. He picked the other desk for 13,000. So total they were giving me is 26. Rent for the space was 20,000. I was keeping 6,000 as my bus fare when I'm coming to the office and going home. Even on months where I made nothing, at least I had something to have lunch with and also to go home and to the office and back and forth. Long story short, COVID comes. No one was preempting this. So Paul says, hey, I can't keep paying for this because of the lockdowns. It makes no sense. And why am I even having an office because no client is coming? Huka Abudo, the lawyer, same thing. Hey man, I don't need the space anymore. I need to get out of here. So I said, okay, you guys can leave. Now I'm left with the office. I can't raise the 20,000 to pay for the space. So what did I do? I approached the caretaker. It was called Dennis. I told him, why can't you allow me to leave? Because I can't raise the rent. I've paid for this month. I can't pay for the next one. I don't want to stick around long enough to become an inconvenience to you. But he said, hey, everyone is leaving. Why should we let you leave? Because, there was that fracas. Everyone was pulling out. All their clients were leaving. So they're also in panic. Now they're using the clauses on their contracts. They're saying, your contract says you have to give a 2 months advance notice before you leave. So you can notify us now and leave 2 months from now. And I couldn't afford paying the rent for the 2 months. Long story short, I lost the furniture, the desks, and the chairs. It was very sad, but I prayed to God. I prayed, and one day I had a dream, and this dream was that I had received my office furniture back. And I kept going back to that place. I'm begging this guy called Dennis, just give me my furniture, just return these things. I'm thinking that because I saw that dream, he will give them to me. He's refusing. I gave up. I said, forget those desks. Now, I had the keys to the desk. There were 2. I had keys to both desks. When I left there, they were locked. And because I had that dream that I'll get them back and I was not getting them back, I burnt those keys. I said, why am I wasting time waiting for things which will never come back? Believe it or not, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4, 5, 6, a year down the line, Dennis calls me, hey, where are you? Kujia zile vitu zako. Took a canter, went, got my furniture. I was happy I had it back. I'm still using it even till today in this very room. There's the furniture all around here. And here's the sad bit. I got the furniture back. But remember, I had burnt the keys. I can neither unlock nor lock those desks. Why? Because I did not believe that God was going to return that furniture. Because it's been a year. If you're saying I'll get it back, why 1 week, 2 weeks? I'm expecting it within this month. And it takes a whole year. I'd given up. And God kept his word. He returned the furniture and I didn't have the keys. I could use them, but sadly I couldn't open and lock and So there's a lesson to be learned there. If God says he will do something for you, don't give up and start doing crazy things. A good example is, if God says, I will give you a good wife or a husband, and it takes a while, it might even take 4 years before you meet someone who is just the vibe is okay, both of you are Christians, both of you value the same things, both of you are, just compatible. Before that happens, it might take 4 or 5 years. I don't know how long it might take. I'm hoping it's shorter. Pray that it's shortened, actually. But in between that, you can't be meeting every other person and wasting time with people here and there, here and there. By the time you're meeting the right person, you're not in good condition yourself. Gone through heartbreaks and all these things. So sometimes waiting on God is difficult, but I learned the hard way. After I burnt those keys and I ended up getting the desks anyway, I learned that, man, I should have waited. And those keys would enable me to access my lockers. And now that I have stuff, I can be able to lock my personal items and they can't access. Now I have to keep my things somewhere else. So you see that patience is something that matters. But either way, guys, that's just my opinion. Do let me know your own comments in the comment section below. I'll do my best to read them and to give you a response. And also, if you like this kind of videos, do follow us at High Altitude Ministries on YouTube and on TikTok and on Facebook. And having said that, bye-bye.